Good afternoon, and welcome to Colorado State University. Will the audience please stand? We will now have the presentation of the colors, followed by the singing of the national anthem by Emmanuel Bonilla. Please join in the singing if you wish.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please be seated. So good afternoon. My name is David McLean, and I serve as the Dean of the Walter Scott Jr. College of Engineering. On behalf of the Colorado State University Administration, the Board of Governors, and the faculty, I welcome you to this commencement ceremony for the Spring 2023 Walter Scott Jr. College of Engineering graduating class. And with this also being a special occasion of Mother's Day, I particularly want to extend a welcome to all of the mothers that are here today. As the land-grant university for the state of Colorado, it is important we recognize the land that our university exists on today. And I'd like to read a statement. Colorado State University acknowledges with respect that the land we are on today is the traditional and ancestral homelands of the Arapaho, Cheyenne, and Ute nations and people. This was also a site of trade, gathering, and healing for numerous other native tribes. We recognize the indigenous peoples as the original stewards of the land and all the relatives within it. As these words of acknowledgement are spoken and heard, the ties the nations have to their traditional homelands are renewed and reaffirmed. CSU is founded as a land-grant institution, and we accept that our mission must encompass access to education and inclusion. And significantly, that our founding came at dire cost to Native nations and the peoples whose land this university was built on. This acknowledgement is the education and inclusion we must practice in recognizing our institutional history, responsibility, and commitment. Today, we celebrate the accomplishments of our students who have completed the requirements for a baccalaureate degree in the majors offered by the College of Engineering. Please join me in a round of applause in congratulating these students on this happy occasion. I would now like to introduce the members of the platform party. Would each of you stand briefly when I call your name? And I'd also like to ask the audience to hold any applause until all the names of the platform party are read. Dr. Dan Baker, Teaching Associate Professor, Civil and Environmental Engineering. Dr. Sean Bingham, Director, University Honors Program. Captain Mark Chaka, Army ROTC and Assistant Professor of Military Science. Dr. V. Chandrasekhar, Associate Dean, International Programs. Dr. David Dandy, Department Head, Chemical and Biological Engineering. Dr. Edwin Chong, Department Head, Electrical and Computer Engineering. Ms. Corey Elias, Systems Engineer, Lockheed Martin. Dr. Matt Kipper, Associate Dean, Graduate Programs. Colonel Scott McCoy, Air Force ROTC and Assistant Professor of Aerospace Studies. Dr. Rick Miranda, CSU Executive Vice President. Ms. Jennifer Pfeiffer, Global Director of Operations, Dow. Dr. Katul Papat, Director of Undergraduate Programs, School of Biomedical Engineering. Dr. Christian Putlitz, Department Head, Mechanical Engineering. Dr. Ken Reardon, Associate Dean for Research. Dr. Charles Shackelford, Department Head, Civil and Environmental Engineering. And Dr. Karan Benayagamurthy, Associate Dean, Academic and Student Affairs. Please be seated. I'd like to ask Captain Mark Chaka to the podium for the announcement of our newly commissioned officers.
Good afternoon, and thank you for the invitation to today's ceremony. I'm joined by Lieutenant Colonel Scott McCoy, an Assistant Professor of Aerospace Studies from the Air Force ROTC program. On behalf of the United States Armed Forces, it is our great pleasure to introduce the newly commissioned officers in our armed forces. On Friday morning, these Rams were commissioned as second lieutenants in the Army or Air Force. As I call your name, please stand to be recognized. Into the Army, Second Lieutenants Clayton Freed, Cameron Coford, Austin Lowe, and Abigail Waugh. And into the Air Force, Second Lieutenants Sage Ava, James Baumstark, John Brennan, Kelsey Eichelberger, Brandon Pruden, Nicholas Shive, Matthew Solomon, Robert Taylor, and Lauren Weber. At this time, I would now like to ask any active duty or veteran students graduating today to also stand. Please join me in congratulating these Rams who have both served our nation and have accomplished these impressive academic goals. Finally, I ask that active duty members of the armed forces and veterans in the audience also stand. Please join me in one final round of applause for those who have already served this great nation and our armed forces. Please stand. Thank you for your time this afternoon. Go Rams.
Thank you, Captain Chaka. As a land-grant institution, Colorado State University takes special pride in our role in providing access and educating students who are first in their family to earn a university degree. This semester, 55 of our 445 graduates are first-generation college graduates. I ask that all of our graduates who are first generation to please stand and be recognized. Please be seated. Yeah. Now I would like to recognize our honorary society members. Tau Beta Pi is the National Honor Society representing the entire engineering profession. It was founded in 1885 to recognize students who possess superior scholarship and exemplary character. Will the Colorado State graduates who are members of Tau Beta Pi please stand and be recognized? Congratulations and best wishes. Please be seated. Other engineering honor societies recognize outstanding students in the individual majors. This include Omega Chi Epsilon for chemical and biological engineering, Chi Epsilon in civil engineering, Eta Kappa Nu in electrical and computer engineering, and Pi Tau Sigma in mechanical engineering. Will the graduates who are members of these honor societies please stand and be recognized? Congratulations and best wishes to you. Please be seated.
I will be the most brief speaker today, probably less than a minute and 15 seconds. I'm here to recognize the students who have earned distinction of University Honors Program Scholar. However, as a special gift for the moms here today, I'm going to make all of you preemptively honorary honors students by saying, to the extent that you are improving the lives of people, the environment, technological advance, you have honorable work to do. Go do it. So you are honorary honors students, all of you. To become a University Honors Scholar, thank you. You're welcome, moms. You can have all those honors students. To become a University Honors Program Scholar, a student must complete an integrated program of studies that include 5 honors seminars, 2 honors courses in the major, and a senior honors thesis. And that is independent research under the mentorship of faculty on campus. All this while achieving at least a 3.5 cumulative grade point average. Will the honor scholars please stand to be recognized?
It's my honor to introduce our commencement speaker, Jennifer Pfeiffer. Jennifer is currently the Global Director of Operations for the Industrial Intermediates and Infrastructure within Dow Incorporated. In this role, she's accountable for translating and implementing business practices at more than 60 manufacturing sites and with over 3,400 employees globally. Jennifer began her career at Dow in 1997. She was in Houston, Texas for a number of years before moving to Germany with responsibility for Dow operations there, and is currently at the Dow headquarters in Midland, Michigan. Jennifer holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Chemical Engineering from CSU. She's also the recipient of the Manufacturing Institute's Women in Science, Technology, Engineering, and Production Award. And she currently serves as chair of the College of Engineering's External Advisory Board. So as I welcome Jennifer up, I also want to extend a welcome to Jennifer's mom, who's with us here in the audience. Welcome, Ann.
Thank you, Dean McLean, for that very kind introduction. First and foremost, graduates, congratulations on this momentous occasion. You have worked diligently over the past several years to complete your degree in engineering, and you should be tremendously proud of your achievement. Most people that have been out of engineering school for 26 years, like myself, may only have distant memories of the pain, sweat, and yes, tears that go into completing the degree. I, however, have had a bird's eye view as my niece is a part of this graduating class. Congratulations, Jessica. We are all very proud of you. Through her journey, I have been reminded of the effort, perseverance, and mental fortitude it takes to get to this day. You really should be very proud of your accomplishments that we're here to celebrate. I was very honored to be asked to deliver this commencement address. It is somewhat ironic, though, as I was also asked to deliver the student commencement address at my own graduation. I decided to forego that opportunity out of sheer terror of speaking in front of large crowds. Well, here I am. This is just one example of many where I have grown and developed as a person, as an engineer, and as a leader since my time sitting in your chair. Today, I am honored to have a role that entrusts me with the leadership and oversight of 3,400 employees, 64 manufacturing facilities in 18 different countries. I've had the opportunity to travel to over 20 countries and live overseas with my family. As a farm girl born in the rural San Luis Valley, eventually moving to Canyon City and then to Greeley, as a graduate of Greeley Central High School, and as the only person in my family to pursue a STEM degree and leave Colorado, I could not have envisioned or imagined I would be standing here today. My career has been a fortuitous journey with some twists and turns, a few failures, and a lot of learnings. I would like to share with you a few of the learnings to support you as you embark on your own personal journey, whether that is a move to industry, academia, or service. My first learning for you is to follow your curiosity. It was curiosity, not courage, that pushed me to take a job directly after I graduated from CSU with Dow. Dow is a Fortune 100 company with their manufacturing headquartered in Texas. Sorry to anyone out there from the great state of Texas, but there are very few Colorado born and raised individuals that think, if only I could move to Texas. My parents actually thought I was crazy. However, I took the leap and I never looked back. And that curiosity allowed me to learn and grow in ways that I never thought was possible and was the cornerstone of what has led me to my current position in the company. Once you trust yourself enough to go down an alternate path, many new opportunities present themselves, and it's easier to say yes the next time. Over time, curiosity leads to courage, and courage opens the big doors in your career. The next thing I learned is that you must be willing to work really hard. Success does not come easy, and while hard work is not the only thing that shapes a successful career, it is certainly an important component. I remember being only 1 to 2 years into my career and sitting down with a leadership mentor, and I asked her what my next role should be and was I ready to move on. And her response was not what I expected. She said the best way to get your next role is to be really good and work really hard at your current role. That will open doors for you, and then which door you take will matter less. This guidance changed my perspective and made me focus more on what good looked like versus what was next. But before all of you weary graduates raise the white flag over having to continue to work long days and late nights, let me reassure you that I definitely worked harder during my college days at CSU than I have in my professional years. So while working hard is important, the hard work scale is relative. Another key learning was that you have to get out of your comfort zone, and that was critical to grow in my career. After living in Texas for 15 years, getting married, having 2 children, we were ready to see more of the world. The advantage of working for a large global company is it gave us opportunities to change roles and geographies. After living in Texas and then Michigan, I accepted a site leader position in Leipzig, Germany. I knew working in a different country, culture, language was really truly going to push me, but I didn't realize just how much until I had the opportunity to work with a leadership coach whose job was to help me with the culture and leadership differences between the US and Germany. My coach asked me to answer a questionnaire with different leadership situations where I would describe how I would respond. When I arrived at the coaching session, the leadership consultant, she was very warm, she was very excited to work with me. She had my questionnaire results, holding them in her hand, and she wanted to talk with me about my leadership instincts. I remember her exact words. She said, "Jennifer, you are going to be an amazing site leader in Germany. We just need to change nearly all of your leadership tendencies." That's when I realized how much of a challenge I had really taken on. We did spend 2 years in Germany. I did find a way to be successful in the role, and it was truly one of the best experiences of my life. What I learned is that to be truly a successful leader, you need to be able to adapt your style and be agile, to learn quickly in new environments. If you are not continuously learning through your career, then you're falling behind. Don't be afraid to really stretch yourself, to do hard things. Get out of your comfort zone, because that is where most of the growth happens. Something I learned from the very beginning of my career was how important mentors really are. I truly relied on them to guide me and support me in many ways. And one particular way was how to be comfortable with being the first. I was the first a number of times through my career. The first female engineer in one group, the first female plant leader in another, the first female site leader at another. I was also the first leader to go on maternity leave in another group I was a part of. These firsts can be uncomfortable, and mentors helped me maintain my confidence and determination. By being a successful first, I was also part of changing the culture. I know it was easier for the next woman, and for that I am proud. I have seen progress in diversity in engineering over the course of my career, but not enough. That means some of you will also have to be firsts. I've heard many people say it's hard to be something you can't see, and I do think there is truth to that, which is why those mentors were so important to me. We want to see representation where we work and in our leadership. My challenge to you is, if you don't see representation, be the representation for those coming behind you. Be your unique self and remind yourself that you got to this day, so you are capable. Don't let anyone, including yourself, make you think otherwise. And if you leave CSU and arrive somewhere where you do see representation, or you're in the majority, be an advocate to ensure there's an opportunity for everyone to reach their full potential, as I know this is how the best business outcomes are made and how we solve tough problems. The last learning I want to share with you is about aspiration. This is a learning that I did not come to as early in my career. As a child of a humble upbringing with no role models for what was possible with engineering, I did not fully understand what I could or should aspire to be. When I started my career, I had a certain job in mind that I wanted to achieve. Through hard work, I achieved that role in only 8 years. At that point, I had to set my sights higher, which left me feeling vulnerable. What if I didn't achieve the next level? Would I feel I had not succeeded? What I learned is that aspiration is not about achieving. It's about dreaming and pushing yourself beyond boundaries. My message to you as graduating engineers is to not limit yourself. Aspire to do greater things than you think you're capable of today, because you may not yet fully understand your talents and potential. As I get closer to the end of my engineering career and I look out to those of you that are just beginning, I am filled with so much excitement for what you all collectively will accomplish over the course of your careers. In my opinion, there has never been a better time to be an engineer. Yes, the country and the world have some tough challenges to face, but so many of these are engineering problems. I am certain that it is your generation of engineers that will move the world away from oil, fully integrate AI into our daily lives, develop smart infrastructure to adapt to the changing climate, globalize sustainable farming practices, and solve the water crisis facing Coloradoans and the rest of the Southwest. You are the future of innovation, and we are counting on you to continue to push the boundaries of what is possible. I have every confidence that you will rise to this challenge through curiosity, courage, hard work, and aspiration. Before I close, I want to take this opportunity to thank all the moms out there, including my own mom, Anne, who is with me today, Thank you for supporting your student and providing the guidance that helped all of these talented young engineers reach this milestone. From me to you, happy Mother's Day. In closing, I want to congratulate you once again on all of your accomplishments to reach this day. This is only the beginning of your journey, and whatever your path forward may be, I hope it leads you to experience the world and everything it has to offer and brings you the success you have worked so hard for and deserve. Thank you, and go Rams.
Thank you, Ms. Pfeiffer. It's now my pleasure to present the candidates for the baccalaureate degree from all engineering majors. Please rise. Dean McLean and Executive Vice President Miranda, it's my pleasure to present to you these students who have completed all the requirements established by the various majors in the College of Engineering for the bachelor's degree. The Faculty Council has recommended to the Board of Governors that these students receive their bachelor's degree at this time.
Thank you, Karan. Well, before I get to congratulate you all, I want to also extend my congratulations to all the moms in the audience and really everybody who's here in the stands today. It's wonderful to see Moby filled with so many people who want to support you in your special day today and who no doubt have supported you for many years in getting you to this spot. So thank you for being here. I want you to come back too for the first volleyball game so that we can fill the stands again. Thanks so very much. And before I congratulate you, graduates especially, I want to congratulate a very special person who's here today. Dean McLean, would you stand up? I just want to say I was here 10 years ago this spring in my role as the provost and vice president of the university, and I hired Dean McLean then to lead the College of Engineering 10 years ago. And he has done so wonderfully for 10 years. He's stepping down this summer and has presided over a period of extraordinary growth in the college. Growth in new facilities, growth in new programs, growth in philanthropy, growth in the number of students, growth in the number of degrees we've given. And much of that is represented here today in the growth of the graduate populations. Thousands and thousands of students who have gone on to great careers coming out of Dean McLean's college. So thank you, David, very much for your 10 years of service to Colorado State. All right, now this is the real thing. Not that that wasn't real, but this is the moment you've been working for, and it gives me great pleasure to say that by the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors of the Colorado State University System, I hereby confer the bachelor's degree on each of you, together with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities appertaining thereunto. That was it.
Students, please be seated. We will now award diplomas individually to the members of the graduating class. I would like to ask Dean McLean and the department heads to come forward and shake hands with the graduating seniors as they accept their diplomas. As a benefit to the students and their families, a photographer will take pictures of the graduates as they cross the stage. Graduates, please pause for your photo as you shake hands with Dean McLean. A final photo will be taken after you leave the stage. And now, will the graduates from all engineering majors please prepare to accept your diplomas?
The academic honor guidelines for students who are graduating with distinction are as follows. Summa cum laude designates approximately the top 1% of graduates in the university. Magna cum laude designates approximately the next 3% of graduates in the university. And cum laude designates approximately the next 6% of graduates in the university. Our first graduates are from the School of Biomedical Engineering, and Chemical Biological Engineering. Connor James Henderson. Alexa Ann Morgan. Angelina Perry DeNorcha. Emily Taylor Kaplan. Sierra Siegel Kurtz. Courtney Elizabeth Rausch. Sarah Ann Dimitri. Ryan Zachary Duran. Megan Anist. Sawyer Frederick Hollingstad. Kylie Summer Palmer. Marcus David Garcia. Stephanie Ann Moody. Allison C. Shad. Emma Kate Raisley. Abigail Iona Fennell. Matthew Scott Stevens. Julia Maria Enseñas. Caitlin Elizabeth Adams. Juliana Ryan Musgrove. And now our graduates with biomedical engineering and electrical engineering. McGuire Bridget Keneally. Jacqueline Francis Moore. Matthew Taylor Matsushima. And now our graduates from biomedical engineering and mechanical engineering. Isabel Anastasia Valdez. Dylan James Fiore. Alana Danielle Kadish. Zachary Shane Ailes. Blake Hill. Catherine Angelica Burr. Ryan Thomas Mahoney. Carly K. Nakamura. Devin Alexander Hayden. Garrett Max Snyder. Hassan Mahmood. Braden Joneswald. Samuel David Burke. Carter J. Morrill. Yaelin Benitez. Ran out. Roberto Ortega. Everybody's for him. Samuel Drake Tang. Zachary Aaron Weilman. Ailsa Ann Young. Oh. Do you want me to read them all? No. Okay. Amy Michelle Kiesling. Bailey Jones. Michaela Marie Coe. Irith Katharina Evans. Summa cum laude. My apologies to those of you, I did not read that yet. She is summa cum laude with minor in chemistry. And Angela Christine Dean, cum laude. Alexis Marie Fitchner. Elizabeth K. Stenicky. Maxim Michael Harlan. Justin Raymond Knapp. Lucas Higgins. Connor Utek. Jacob Michael Orens. Jared Mark Shemansky. And now our graduates from the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering. Isabel Kathleen Branchin. Taryn Monica Farhar, cum laude. Brian Andrew Dumasil. Nicholas Franklin Chastain. Jack Robert Foreman. Caden Landers King. Jacob R. Schwartz. Brian James Kelly. John J. O'Donnell Sloan, magna cum laude. Riley W. Stephen. Mary Catherine Skillicorn. Jonathan Parker Salmon. Eric Lundeen, cum laude. Dylan Andrew Case. Maya Victoria Karp, cum laude. Kaylin Noel Kosmiski. Amanda Iris Schmidt, summa cum laude. Rebecca Morgan Tamayo. McKenna Leanne Moody, magna cum laude. Bailey Lotka. Also is getting a degree in language and literature and cultures with a Spanish concentration. Emma Barrett. Kelly Trawler. Nathaniel Drew Brenninger. Frankie Alonso Caballero. Diana Lisith Antion Bencomo with a minor in biomedical engineering. Asia K. Ami'i with minors in biomedical engineering and chemistry. Madeline May Nab. Rachel M. Conrad, cum laude. Jacob Anthony Miller. Austin Murphy. Adam David Scherer. Emily Brooke Carver. Bailey Renee Torrey. Ariel Jean Dirting. Georgia Kate Perkins. Quinn Sandwich Neuendorf. Taylor Johnson with a minor in biomedical engineering. Taylor Zagrocki with minors in biomedical engineering and math. Jessica Faith Slane, cum laude. Elliot Jerome Farrell Carity. Andrew Henry Hess. Brett Matthew Wilson with a biomedical engineering minor. Ryan Foslian. Carmen Elizabeth Bowen, magna cum laude. Anissa Para. Allison M. Walker. Kyle Edward Curtis. Mackenzie Abigail Lucas. Okay. Ethan Gabriel Canicaglio Ahuna. Sorry. So many vowels. Kaylee May McCarthy Zayek. Landon A. MacArthur. John Michael Barker. Derek Herrera with a minor in biomedical engineering. Ian D. Vetlaufa with minors in biomedical engineering and math. Jacob Schott. Thanks, hang on just a second.
Okay. And now for civil and environmental engineering. I feel... Sorry. Just... Jazelyn Danielle Reyes. Rochelle Lene Coley. Olivia Mackenzie Clark. Juliana Jeanette Ryan. Jillian Marie Merkel. William Hart Long III. Lauren Elizabeth Weber. James Scott Baumstark. Brandon Matthew Pruden. Derek William Larson. Derek T. Williams. Loudon Jones. Joshua Douglas McMartin, cum laude. Thomas Alexander McCallan. Thank you. Sawyer Stephen Lasowitz. Okay. Alexander Harmon. David B. Smith. Austin Howrila. Amanda Jane Holtzclaw. Is that better? Isabella Lenahan. David Michael Coolish. Clayton John Phillips, cum laude. Cade A. Plath. Bailey Robert Brockenbaugh. Naver Soto Velasquez. Austin James Lowe. Margaret Ann Dring. Katie Elizabeth Arkley. Emily Clarice Jagerhorn. Kennedy Mackenzie Hurst. Aaron Sky Martinez. Carly Ann Daughtry. Connor Andrew Bearclaw. Tony Yuan. Osvaldo Garcilaso. Bo J. Vanderslies, minor in Spanish, cum laude. Cameron Anton Delamano. Bailey Henderson Breen. Drake C. Taylor. Kobe M. Baker with a minor in global environmental sustainability. Amber Olivia Boyle. Kevin Joseph Gusdorf. David Willem Salmon. Andrew David Johnson. Noah Francis Harrington. Daniel John Crippen. Wesley John Price, Jr. Eric D. Maxwell. Brian Lee Fry, minor in construction management. Kyle Austin Rock. Noah Gerner. Matthew Aaron Eifert. Ronnie Minares. Jesus Eduardo Sanchez Hurtado. Artem Alexandrovich Symbolist. Alex Michael Paul Telez. Araceli Signs Quiros. Maria del Consuelo Aguilar Ricalde. Asal Ahmed Mohammed Al Mohammed. Paxton Magdalena Lee. Rose M. Mendoza. Julia Renee Marsh, and a minor in mathematics. Veronica Agata Makowski. Caitlin Farrell. Daniel L. Polinsky, minor in economics, magna cum laude. Jack Carney. Ryan Michael Tucker. Hashem Karkow. Danielle Sear. Cassidy Siebel. Maya Kathleen Preby, summa cum laude. Ashley Louise Peterson. Grady Mikhail Cole. Ryan Fletcher Brady. Evan Thomas Malloy. Benjamin William Bullock. Marissa Alexandria Marty. Claire Lee McWilliams. Do you want? Haley Henry. Colette Jackson, cum laude. Amanda Mary Innes. Sophia Patrice Zook. Alexandra Lee Saran. Julia Kate Verbeck. Claire Paskey. Micah Alessandra Saavedra. Thomas C. Nelson. Jacob Alexander Robertson. Eric Heidner. Isha Nakil Sakathar. You do? Ryan B. Connell. Michael J. Newbanks. Kayla Jo Milligan. Avery Dondersheim. Saud Al-Amri. Abdul Malik Al-Shihi. Saif Hamed Al-Busaidi. Abdullah Salem Al-Hari. Jaber Al-Sabar. Trent R. Valentis.
And now the graduates from the Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering. Garrett James Andreessen. Jose Alejandro Alamos Corral. Salih Al-Ismaili. Mohammed Al-Jarwani. Obad Ahmad Alaji. Joshua Arbach. Michael Allen Beerley. Brandon Matthew Bender. Tyler C. Biggs. Kyle Biskupski. Ethan James Chadwick. Scott Chase. Isaac Guinness Foyko Frank. Alec Hunter Day. Jordan Rosa DeCrescenis. Jack Eldridge. Zachary D. Fox. Grant Stephen Gobb. Mason E. Higgins. Brendan Crawford Felix. Noah Robert Ali Garby. Matthew Allen Gilmore. Cameron Dane Holmes, cum laude. Adam John Hulse. Jordan T. Jeske. Ashlyn Blake Grote, cum laude. Kaladzik. Alex B. Kaladzik. Chester F. Labata. Joshua Edward Lasky. Leonardo Loma Arteaga. Dylan Alexander Gungel. Spencer Charles Capello. Elliot Ming McCormick, magna cum laude. Nasser Maoyin, cum laude. Sue Wynn. Gerardo Javier Palma Perez. Eric Persine, summa cum laude. Levi Franklin Reber. Cameron Parks Robbins. Evan Paul Hassman. Truett Richardson. Jonah Nicholas Rockwell. Ethan Schultz. Hojin Tsa. Wyatt James Suit. Adil Sayed. Gwendolyn S. Terry. Ali Alfeilakawi. And now the students receiving degrees in engineering science. Sean Mellinger. Sebastian Freema. Perry Pecos Duarte. And now from the Department of Mechanical Engineering. Ryan Lee. Ryan Andrew Shear. Ryan Oliver Klotz. You have to be a Ryan. Okay. Eduardo Antonio Malloy. Evan Ronzoni. Jason Andrew Bono. Colin Patrick Elmer, cum laude. Michael William Perez. Logan Alexander McGrew. Jacqueline Marie Gedney. Ethan J. Morrow. Samuel Jason Radasevich. Constantine Flum. Vincent James Montez, cum laude. Emily May McQueen also has a Bachelor of Arts in Languages, Literatures, and Cultures, and with a French concentration and a minor in biomedical engineering. No surprise, she is also cum laude. Cameron B. Luker. Bailey Patrick Moran. Jaden Andrew Habercorn. Baylor Cade Jones. Spencer Jake Teeter. Ainsley Marie Birch. Jaron Fleischman. Geneva Vanelli San Nicholas. Nicholas Michael Stockton. Sean Allen Howard. Cody Hyman. Nathaniel F. Stafford. Keegan Alex Hughes. Connor Keith Shelton. Liam Patrick Chosen. Timothy N. Hunt. Alexander Michael Erickson. James Patrick Bolton. Hunter Ryan Flowers. Max Carter Cook. Ethan Frazier Watney. Dawson Peter Thomas Bauke, with a concentration in aerospace. Trevor Lewis Stroud. Carrie Alexander Patterson, with a minor in music. Gus Davis Trimble. Abdullah Al-Sanad. John Patrick Brennan. Adrian Carter Juarez. Max Eric Ryturski, with a minor in computer science. Nicholas Todd Shive. Let's go! Varun Sharma. Matthew Solomon. Sage Kekai Alwa. Kelsey Ann Eichelberger. Rebecca Ada Zulch. Jacob John Pollard. Clint Robert Middlemist, cum laude. Walter Jordan, cum laude. Bryce Bernard Jones. John Paul Lubers. Olin Scott Sandeno. Scott Russell King. John Thomas Lehman. Caitlin Marie Bartley. Jacob Parks Holbert. Cole J. A. Stevenson. Nathan David Loudon. Nicholas Ryan Anderson, magna cum laude. Ryan Parker Abbott. Duncan Stephen Shea. Dominic Michael Liuzzi. Garen Keith Fish, cum laude. Kenneth William Reisbeck. Andrew J. Mutterspaugh.
Hunter Toll Wallace. Alex John James Yohe. Bryce Allen Markham. Brandon Dodd. Jacob Eli Lerner, cum laude. You want me to say? Stephen Connor Higgins. Miles V. Profilo. Jared Ogg. Connor Heggie. William Connor Mikesell. Frederick Schmid. Let's go, Fred. Kelly Patrick Ryan, cum laude. Emery Decare. Keaton Neal Shepard. Haley Gokhan. Ishan Karandakar. Nathaniel James Freeman. Samuel Crawford Carroll. Owen Benjamin Dietrich. Donovan S. Wells. Eric Allen Olson. Kyle Stephen Moore. Luke Harrison Russia Tua. Keelan Paul Haynes. You don't want that one. Blake Mason. Kyle Bradley Hamilton. Journey Michelle Noyes. Sujan the Hall. Weston Dahl. Kenneth Allen Daniels. Evan Joseph Veach. Ross Eli Leopold. James Barry Hickenbottom. James Tillman Cobb III. Priscilla Lopez Mendez. Jonathan Lando Carbajal. Laura Ann Maria. Alex Bowman. Charles Robert Sanders. Kirk Frank Russell. Matthew Brian Huntington. Elliot Samuel Matlack. Jack R. Manifold. Theo Akira Ramos. Jacob Sean Sandsburn. Juliana Diaz. Alexandra Patrick Kuntz. Abigail Hope Wah. Scott Grady Young Van Hoosen. Cameron Scott Coford. Clayton Charles Freed. Marissa Renee Hanlon. Braden Kent Stewart. Jonathan Steiner. Elise Nicole Thompson. Zachary Kramer Robertson.
And with a master's in electrical engineering, Anuruddha Vijay Vijayvidhare. And with a PhD in systems engineering, Satya Tetala, advisor, Seed Sinsky. This concludes the awarding of diplomas.
Thank you, Brett and Shannon, for reading the names. So join me in congratulating the newest engineering CSU graduates. And graduates, if you've not done so already, you may flip your tassel. So engineering graduates of spring 2023, let me add my congratulations to that of the others who have spoken before me. Today represents an important milestone in your life. I'm sure you'll agree that much hard work and many long hours went into achieving this goal, and you should be proud of your accomplishments. Higher education continues as a powerful tool to better your own life, those of others around you, and society as a whole. A degree is one of the few things that once earned can never be taken away. To our graduates, I say thank you for enduring the ups and downs and the disruptions of campus life during the pandemic, and I commend you for your dedication and perseverance in rising to the challenges. And to our faculty and staff, I say thank you for your sacrifices, demonstrated resolve, and professionalism. And to the families and friends that are here today, thank you. We know that this journey for our graduates would not have happened without your support. It is such a wonderful day to be here together to acknowledge our graduates. Indeed, this is the day to celebrate. To the graduates again, I want to say that today's diploma is not the end of your journey, but it is a significant milestone along the way to your success. The degree that each of you has earned here today is a fulfillment of the vision of Abraham Lincoln, who over 160 years ago signed the act that established land-grant universities, providing access to an education and opportunity for success for those with the tools and the desire to make a difference in society, no matter their economic background nor where they came from. 2023 engineering graduates, you have not just been given the ability, but you now have the responsibility to make our world a better place. Lead by example, and you will bring others with you. My best wishes and congratulations to all of you. Go Rams. And now to provide our welcome as an alumni of CSU, I'd like to welcome Corey Elias to the podium. Corey is a 2022 electrical engineering grad from CSU. While here, she had a very prestigious NASA astronaut scholarship. She currently works as a systems engineer with Lockheed Martin, working on the Dragonfly project, which is a mission project to send a spacecraft, unmanned spacecraft, to Titan, the largest moon in Saturn. Did I get that right? So, Corey, let me welcome you to the podium.
Thank you, Dean, and thank you, everyone, for allowing me to be here and share this special moment with you today. My name is Corey, and exactly 1 year ago today, I was sitting right where you are, actually in the third row back there. So that's the lucky seat. I remember waiting with bated breath and sweaty palms to be brought into this next and so very important stage of life. I am overjoyed to be here with you all on this momentous day and would like to extend my deepest congratulations to each one of you on completing your undergraduate career. I can only imagine how many long hours, brutal exams, and ugly crying sessions you've experienced as you fought your way to the finish line. But I also imagine those challenges are interspersed with finer details and deeper moments. The things that will really stick with you as you venture out into the world. I'm talking about all those meaningful conversations with strangers that turned into friendships in the dining halls, those small victories solving a bug in your code or fixing a mistake in your homework, those late, sometimes very late nights out celebrating the end of a semester with your friends. While you will be leaving CSU with an incredible professional education that will take you far, you are also leaving with a unique experience that will forever shape your perspective and appreciation for the little things. As you step into this next part of your journey, wherever it takes you, I encourage you to never lose sight of the little things. Every single day, both in your undergraduate career and now outside of it, is an adventure filled with gifts that we often tend to overlook. The key to a fulfilled life is learning to saturate yourself in joy from overcoming one challenge and to let those feelings empower you to get through the next. Today especially, I encourage you to savor every moment and remember the feeling of this accomplishment you have rightfully earned. Remember the excitement around you, the feeling of the rain falling on your face as you leave the arena, the smiles on your friends and family's faces. These are the things that matter the most. And when you learn to spot and appreciate those things, you'll find everything else you used to worry about will fall into place as it should. From experience, I know that the first thing you'll want to do out of college is become the best at everything, from work to hobbies to relationships. But I think we all know that's an unrealistic expectation, and excellence in a skill is something that can only come with time. However, there is one thing that everyone here is already the best at, something you will always be the best at, something you're better at now than before you started your journey at CSU. You are all the best at being you. And I can truly say that is the most significant thing you will ever accomplish. Be proud of who you are, what you've done, and where you're going. Learn to give yourself the kind of effort, attention, passion, and grace that you gave to your college experience. That kind of attitude will take you farther than you could ever imagine, I promise you. Although you might be leaving this campus to pursue the next phase of your career, you are not leaving the community that you have helped to create. You are now part of a vast, multi-talented, and supportive network of alumni, professors, and advisors, a group of people you can always fall back on and grow with as you move forward in your lives. I am so excited to be the first to welcome you into the CSU Alumni Association. From the bottom of my heart and from the hearts of everyone here, congratulations to the class of 2023. You have overcome and accomplished so much. Enjoy this moment, all the little things about it, and welcome to the next step in your journey. Thank you.
So to the graduates, I would like you to join me in thanking some people that helped you on your journey. I will ask the faculty and the staff from the College of Engineering and CSU to please stand and be recognized. You may be seated. So in addition to the faculty and staff, I know you graduates will also recognize the contributions of family members and friends. So the guests that are with us here today, will you please stand and be recognized and thanked by our graduates? So now will everyone please stand and join in singing the Alma Mater. Please be seated. So on behalf of our faculty, our staff, and students, I thank the parents, families, friends, and guests for participating in this most gratifying ceremony. Please remain seated while the graduates, faculty, and platform party depart. Thank you again for joining us today. Again, a happy Mother's Day to the mothers present, and congratulations again to the CSU engineering grads.